So I'm gonna groom all the hair back, always making sure to follow my 5-step sectioning process. I'm gonna take a box section here, starting at high recession, going towards crown. This is gonna separate my sides from my top and the back from the top. It's gonna give me 4 zones. Now we're just gonna tie that knot around itself, and then we're gonna clip up the tail. Always remember not to clip the knot, clipping the tail. Okay, so we have our box section in, and it's quite high up on the apex. Now I've got to section away the sides. So I'm just going to want to come straight down just behind the ear. So Sam wants to keep the length behind the ear, and we can see he needs that weight because he has quite a lot of neck hair. So what I want to do, I want to separate that point to make sure that I have full control over it. The top of his hair at the back and the top of his hair on the top are the areas that we really need to focus on to remove the weight to give Sam the style that he wants. Just going to pop that in the exact same manner that I did on the other side. And that's going to control this, and then I can come back to this after. It is hard when you're working with hair on top before hair underneath, so you do just have to manage as best you can. Now, there's all our weight. We can see how long this is, and it does not need to be that long. Now remember, this hair's traveling all the way from here to get to that line. So we still need to take some off the top as well. So we want to make sure that we are taking it tight enough. So we get Sam's head square, we get my body square, we choose our length, I drive out, I find my guide, and I cut. What I'm going to do, I'm going to unclip these clips, and we're just going to assess where we're at. So we can already see, there's obviously a massive disconnection in there, but it sort of works because we've been able to maintain that length down the bottom here with those curls that Sam likes, but we've also been able to reduce all that weight. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come through vertically and just soften that disconnection a bit, but I'm actually going to leave it. Okay. So we're just going to assess this disconnection. So how we're going to do that is on the vertical axis. Now, just by softening that disconnection, you can you see the difference in texture right there? And it was only the slightest bit that I took off. So we comb up to increase the length as we move down the head, take off the corner, let it fall and work with no over direction in order to create a round shape horizontally. See, I adjust myself again, I pull to an increase, find that point of connection, and I take off the corner. Last section here. Okay, let's have a look what we got. So we've still got that flick out the bottom there because we didn't actually touch that. But we've got that nice curl. Now we're going to work the sides into the back. In order to do that, we're going to use graduation. But we don't really need to take too much off at all. I'm going to start with diagonal sections. I'm going to drive my spine through, pick it up, assess the shape. There's not really much that needs to come off. Now I cut Sam's hair quite a lot, so I do know where the weight falls, and where I identify that is along his parietal ridge, and because of that, I don't like to build up too much weight along that area because he has quite a flat head shape on the side, so I don't need to further build this shape. All it's going to do is give him sort of a mushroom head, which isn't what we're looking for. We're merely looking for a nice even transition from the sides to the back. So I'm going to transition to slightly more horizontal, just so I can incorporate the back. Higher elevation to ensure that we don't build too much weight along this area. Now, what I have to be wary of here, I don't want to tuck back in because I'm going to take this curl off that we've just worked to create. So I'm actually going to keep my cutting line pretty flat. And as I come behind the ear, I'm going to pull this all the way in front of the ear. So you can see how far this hair over here is traveling compared to this hair. So, groom the hair, take my section, come from underneath, using my elevation, checking my guide. So, here, on a traditional graduation haircut, where you are going to taper the hairline at the back, you would start to tuck around the head, which isn't what I want to do. I want to stay relatively square, using the head shape to build the length as I work back, because this point of the head is closer to me than this point. So if I just cut a square line here, this will be shorter than this. I don't even have to change anything. I just have to make sure that all of my elevation, tension, over direction is consistent. You can see by grooming my sections how easy I can control this hair. It's not getting in the way, I'm not dealing with too much hair at once, and it's because I focus on the small things that allows me to work efficiently. So once again, using that head shape, to build my length for me. So once again, I'm just going to groom this. I'm going to pull out to that same stationary guide. Now I'm not worried about what comes off. If it reaches, I'll cut it. If it doesn't reach, I don't worry about it. It reaches, cut. Now I know this last section is probably not going to reach. A little bit does, so it just comes off. Okay, so now let's see what we've got. Can you see how we've built weight in areas and we've also reduced weight at the same time? So I'm going to undo the top and we're just going to assess this. Sam did say he has a lot of excess weight up here, so I don't necessarily want to keep. You can see we are quite long, so we're not going to need all of that length. Now, obviously I've already cut it, but it's not the end of the world. All I need to do, I'll keep this section in just for now. I'm just going to take vertical sections. I'm now going to pick this hair up find the last point of my guide that was previously cut, assess it to the length at the front, and cut. My decision making here is, do I cut triangle or square? In this instance, I'm going to cut square. So you can see, because his head rounds down here, this hair is longer than this hair. It looks the same, but when you go like this, see the change? That's because of the change in head shape. Okay, now we've cut the top, we've cut the sides, and we've cut the back. The last thing to do is to connect the top to the sides. So what I'm going to do what's called a delta section, which runs from high recession to apex. It's a triangle shaped section, and it's going to allow me to create a seamless disconnection, or allow me to create the disconnection and then reassess to see if I need to use a disconnection. So yeah, there you can see we have quite a deep triangular shaped section. We have quite a deep triangular shaped section, and all I'm going to do if you need to, you can clip that up. I just take my section parallel how I was taking my section before. Now, I'm going to have my graduation right here. I just connect it. Continue. Take my third section, running around the head, grooming, picking up, finding the point of disconnection, coming out. We can see that small little piece. Let me just take it off. Last section, nothing. Now look, when this brushes back, it all just sits as one wall. I'm going to repeat this on the other side. Take that section, making sure that I've groomed in the exact direction that I'm going to take the section. Take my section. Find my disconnection. Okay, so we're just looking for that disconnection. We will have a guide from underneath, from the previous section. We will also have our guide from our graduation. There's not much to take off. Comb all hair that will reach, which is nothing. And we are done. Now, so just using the head to wrap the hair around and straighten out, creating volume. Now I'm going to switch to my round brush, and this I find much better to create volume because I can get a lot more tension on the hair. So I'm going to pick a piece about just over the apex, and I'm just going to do that as I work forward and take sections. I don't need to do it too much because I do want the sides to not have too much volume. I'm going to let that cool a little bit. That's going to give me more volume. And then I'm just going to come back through with my vent brush just to really solidify the style, because we don't really want him walking out like John Travolta. So this is the end result that we've got on Sam's hair. We can see we've got a nice brush back. We didn't take it too short on the sides. A lot of length came off over the apex and over the occipital bone here, but you can see the shape that we've been able to create while keeping that longer length. So if I just give him a turn, we can see we're able to maintain all of this curl, but we're still able to get rid of all that weight through here that was completely unnecessary. Even at the top, look how much flatter that's sitting. It's gonna be so much easier for him to style. Then when you look at him on the front profile, we've got a nice square shape. You can see that really masculine through the sides, and then we've got that little mullet that pops out the bottom. I really like the look of that. By using the paste in his hair before we blow dried it, we were able to accentuate the curl without it going frizzy. And then we just finish it off with a bit afterwards just to really set that style in. If you like that video, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up, because that's going to let us know to keep creating this kind of content. If you like the way we cut hair, then please check out our online course. We're going to leave the link in the description. See you soon.